How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battle. Today we have a new team. We have a Toxtricity team. If you want to try the team out, use the code at the top right corner of the screen. There's also a copy and paste of the team in the description down below. Please like and subscribe for more videos like this one. And with that being said, let's jump into the team preview. Okay, today we're battling versus Scorpion from the Discord server. Go ahead and join the Discord server. It's the best place to go for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battles right now. There's a link in the description down below. Looking at his team, he's got a Meowscarada, a Iron Moth, Sandy Shocks, Gyarados, Lycanroc Dusk, and a Cryogonal. So I'm looking at this team and I'm thinking, probably going to lead off with Lycanroc. I'm actually inclined to lead off with Toxtricity here, just because it's Choice Scarfed. We can go for that nice and powerful Volt Switch if we want to. I mean, that might bait in the Sandy Shocks, but so be it if it does. If they go Sandy Shocks, we're just going to Florges and wall the crap out of it, so it's no big deal. And the battle begins, so Scorpion's going to lead off with the Iron Moth, which is very threatening as we led off with Rockstar, the Toxtricity. So, right off the bat, I could Tera Normal here and go straight for that Boomburst if I wanted to. Quark Drive is going to activate, giving it more special attack, but I'm pretty sure we can probably take this thing out of a Boomburst, right? So I'm going to go straight for that Volt Switch. They probably won't go Sandy Shocks because of the Boomburst potential. I think they're more likely to go into Cryogonal, so I'm going to try it. I'm going to go for the Volt Switch real quick, see what we can do here. If they go into their... that's a good point. So the great thing about Florges on this team is it's Tera Rock with Tera Blast. And the main reason I have that is because the amount of times the amount of times Volcaronas and Iron Moths try and set up on it. Like Iron Moth less so, more so Volcarona, they try and set up on Florges and they're like, yeah, you can't touch me, you can't touch me. I walk out with a Tera Rock and they're just completely stop their sweeping my path. So they're probably going to go for a fire type move this turn, which would make a lot of sense. Or they go for the agility, one of the two. I'm going to go ahead and go into my Florges now because Florges can definitely take a fire type move, which they're probably going to go for. I'm going to go into the Florges real quick, there we go, and see what they're going to do. They go for the fiery dance. We should be able to eat that like it's nothing, of course. As it does actually do a lot of damage, which is really unfortunate. They don't get a special attack drop either, which is great. So now they're probably thinking in their head, this Florges is going to die to a Sludge Wave, so they probably go into Corviknight right now, or something along those lines to take a Sludge Wave. But no, that's not what I'm going to do at all. I'm going to Terastallize into a Rock type. Looking at their team, what's their switch into Rock? Probably just Sandy Shocks, and even then we can just wall that thing. So I'm going to go for it. I'm going to expect a Sludge Wave and I'm going to Terastallize. So we do Terastallize. They do stay in, which is interesting. They're probably going straight for that Sludge Wave right now. They're going to Terastallize into a nice and powerful Rock type, which is going to catch this thing off guard big time. Definitely going to catch it off guard, which is the exact reason I have it. So they go for an Agility thinking we can't touch it. Oh no, that's not worked out for them at all. As we go for the Tera Blast. That's going to destroy this thing. Tera Blast comes through. Throw some Meteors at it. Take out the Iron Moth. And Florges gets a W right there. What an absolute beast of a Pokemon. That's just worked out really nicely for us. They really thought they could set up on Florges. And you know what's great about this now? We can hit the Gyarados for super effective damage. We can take neutral damage from... Well, we took neutral damage from Lycanroc anyway. We can hit the Cryogonal for super effective damage as well. And Cryogonal can't do anything to us. In comes Sandy Shocks. Obviously, he's going to try and hit that Earth Power. Earth Power will take us out, of course. We have to switch out here. Into what, though, is the real question. I don't really have much of a switch into Sandy Shocks, to be honest with you. They could go for a Volt Switch right now. I wish I had Protect, but I don't, unfortunately. I'm just going to fire off a Moonblast at this thing. We don't really need Florges for much else now anyway, because they're mainly physical attackers. They go for the Earth Power. That's going to nearly take us out, but thanks to Florges' natural special bulk, we're able to live it, go for a Moonblast, and potentially get a special attack drop, which we don't, unfortunately. Now, we know these things are typically choiced, right? These things are typically choiced. We haven't seen a Booster Energy, so now we can freely go out into our Corviknight and not have to worry about an Electric type move. I am going to assume for the time being that they're choiced. If they prove me wrong, they're going to withdraw the Sandy Shocks. They are choiced. They're going to expect the Corviknight right now, and they're going to go into something else. They go into the Meowscarada. Ooh, that's not what I thought they were going to. Right there. So, Sandy Shocks could have finished us off. They probably expected a different Pokemon to come in right now. Maybe the Greninja to take an Earth Power, but no. Noctis comes on in. I'm assuming that Sandy Shocks is choiced. So I'm going to go for a U-turn right now because they kind of have to U-turn of their own, or the Spikes. And they're not actually Protean, which is a common thing nowadays. I see that a lot on people. They don't run Protean anymore because having the dual stab Grass and Dark is actually really good for Meowscarada. So that's great. Down that goes. Now we get a free switch into Toxtricity, who can go straight for a Boomburst and take this thing out and do massive damage to anything else on their team other than the Cryogonal. So that's absolutely amazing. We'll just go straight for the Boomburst right now. We don't need to Terastallize, not that we can anyway, but we don't need to anyway. Boomburst comes through, destroys the Meowscarada because we are Choice Scarfed, and we do reveal to them that we're Choice Scarfed by doing that as well, which is a shame, but what can you do? We got the KO with Toxtricity. That's all that really matters. Toxtricity putting in the finest of work right now. In comes the Lycanroc. So Lycanroc's a good one here. It can go for the Drill Run. It can go for whatever it wants, really. But we do have the best switching in the world to this thing being Corviknight. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Absolutely no reason whatsoever to stay in against this Lycanroc with my Toxtricity. So in comes the Corviknight. We're going to exert some pressure and we're going to wall the crap out of this thing, no problem. They go for a Stealth Rocks, absolutely fine by me. They've got Spikes, they've got Stealth Rocks, but we have the great Tusk in the back who's just waiting to go for that Rapid Spin right now. So what we can do now is go for a U-turn, expecting them to switch out. They might go for a Taunt. Expecting a Defog, but they don't. They actually switch out. Even if they went for the Taunt, it wouldn't matter because we go for the U-turn and we get a free switch in. They're going to go into Sandy Shocks, which is fair enough. Now, the question is what set this Sandy Shocks is. So, I think our best bet is to go into Florges and Sack, because Florges isn't doing much for us anymore anyway. And it will give us a free switch in. So, let's go into Florges real quick. There we go. Into Bloomer. And by going into Bloomer, I know we got a free switch in anyway. But, you know what? I don't even know what I was doing here. I know what I was doing. Right, so Florges, I brought the Florges in because I was hoping to see what they would lock themselves into the next turn. But little did I know, Stealth Rocks and Spikes were enough to take it out. And that was a bad play on my part. I shouldn't have done that whatsoever. So that's unfortunate. We could go Greninja here. We could go Haxorus. I think Haxorus is probably the best bet because we can go for an EQ. Toxtricity is not the best bet because they could be Choice Scarfed. I think our bestest bet in the world is going to be Haxorus. So I'm going to go into Haxorus real quick. So Haxorus comes on in, and we'll find out whether what they're going to lock himself into. So pretty much that's the main goal here. That's the main goal. So break the mold, which is always nice. I'm going to go straight for the Outrage, just because if they do Volt Switch on us, it's going to be great. If the Earth Power and we live, that'd be amazing. If the Earth Power and we don't live, then we get a free switch into whatever we want, which is going to be the Corviknight to get up a nice powerful body press. The third option is that they Terastallize into an Ice type right now and just destroy us, which is a very big possibility. However, them being Ice type is actually a good thing, because it means Toxtricity now has no switch-ins to its Overdrive, which is absolutely amazing. The Sandy Shocks is weakened, the Lycanroc is frail, the Gyarados gets one-shotted, so Haxorus going down here is not a big deal at all. I'm happy for Haxorus to go down because he wasn't really doing too much for us this game. They have a Cryogonal which outspeeds us and kills with a Freeze Dry. They've got Lycanroc which outspeeds us and kills with a Stone Edge. They've got Gyarados which is bulky enough, and with the Intimidate it's just going to put in a lot of work. So I think the best thing we can go into right now that we know it's locked into Terra Ice, is to go into the Toxtricity. We fire off an Overdrive real quick, and that's going to do a lot of damage to anything on their team. So we'll go Toxtricity. It's obviously going to be broken by the Stealth Rocks and the Spikes. Pretty sure we can live a Tera Blast from this thing if it's Choice Scarfed. If it's Choice Specs, we outspeed and KO. So let's go for it. They're going to withdraw the Sandy Shocks, telling me they're not Choice Scarfed, or they're just not confident in the Terra Ice, which makes a lot of sense. They're going to go into the Lycanroc, which I don't think can take a Overdrive, to be honest with you, unless it's sashed. It can take an Overdrive. Interesting. So that's a thing. We just go for another Overdrive anyway. They're probably going to try and weaken us with a Accelerock, which makes a lot of sense, as they do go straight for that Accelerock. Tough Claw's boosted. It's going to do a lot of damage, but Overdrive comes through and takes out the Lycanroc, which is amazing. So down goes the Lycanroc. We don't have to worry about Accelerock picking us off later on down the line. In comes the Cryogonal. So Cryogonal's a good one, because obviously it's really specially defensive. It's going to fire off one of its powerful Ice-type moves. We only have one switch in, which is Corviknight, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Corviknight comes on in. Now, we have to get rid of the Stealth Rocks and Spikes before we go back into the Toxtricity. So we need to get rid of them somehow. We go into the Corviknight real quick. Should be able to sponge a hit from this thing. They go for a Light Screen, which is unfortunate because that's going to break our it's going to break down our Toxtricity's power. However, I'm pretty sure an Overdrive will still KO the Gyarados, so I'm not too fussed about that. This turn, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a slow U-turn. No, I'm going to go for a body press to try and get the KO. They go for the freeze dry, obviously just expecting us to just take it like a champ. We go for the body press, should KO the Cryogonal, nearly KOs the Cryogonal, So now we go for a U-turn. They go for a reflect. Oh, interesting. So they're going for the reflect here. They are going for the reflect here. So we go for a U-turn, should KO. It doesn't KO, which is really unfortunate. That's really unfortunate, that is. Without that KO, we're kind of boned. So we can't go Toxtricity because it'll die to hazards. We have to go into the Greninja right now. So I'm going to go ahead and go into Greninja. There we go. Blackstar comes in. Blackstar comes in, who's actually a shiny... yeah, he's a shiny Greninja now. I called my last one Blackstar and it didn't make sense because it wasn't shiny, and now this one is. So it's like, yeah. Blackstar is a reference to the anime called Soul Eater, by the way. It's basically a ninja guy in that who uses like different weapons and stuff, and he's called Blackstar, so I figured it was a cool name. Leave me alone. I'm going to go for a Dark Pulse. Go for the Dark Pulse. There we go. Change it to a Dark type real quick. There we go. Take out the Cryogonal. There we go. Down it goes. Down it goes. So Cryogonal goes down, which is great. However, we have a problem. We have screens up, and that's going to stop us from reaching our full potential when it comes to firepower. So in comes the Gyarados, which is absolutely fine. Gyarados is probably thinking, hey, let's sit up on this Greninja, and I'm all down for that. I'm all down for that. Let's go for that Dark Pulse real quick, get some damage off. There we go. Does a critical hit, which is amazing, and they go for the Dragon Dance, which is obviously going to be really, really, really terrifying. So Gyarados is a pretty threatening Pokemon. However, I don't think we'll live an Earthquake, but screw it. We're going to go ahead and go down to an Earthquake from the Gyarados, which is unfortunate, but what can you do? As now, our only hope, really, is that the Great Tusk can outspeed and go for a Rapid Spin. So I'm going to go ahead and go into Great Tusk. That's our only hope right now, is that. That's basically it. That's our only hope. So Protosynthesis is going to boost our attack, which really helps out here. We should live one Waterfall here and go for a Rapid Spin. I think we can live one Waterfall. I'm pretty sure we can live one. We can't, unfortunately. Which means, unfortunately, Toxtricity goes down, which is a real shame. But it's fine. We have the Corviknight in the back here. So let's go to Corviknight real quick. There we go. Go Corviknight, and unfortunately I don't have Defog on this Corviknight. I should have really brought Defog just in case we run out of spinners, but you know, it's whatever. We'll go straight for that Brave Bird real quick, and they go for a Waterfall. It's going to do a lot of damage. I should have gone for Roost there because of the Rocky Helmet. Should have gone for a Roost, but it doesn't matter anyway because the Sandy Shocks takes us out. I was a misplay, but it doesn't matter because, like I said, the Sandy Shocks takes us out. So the Brave Bird's going to fail, unfortunately. Light Screen is going to wear off, but unfortunately, Toxtricity goes down to the hazards. And this is one of those games where the hazards played a very crucial part in the winning of it. So we'll go for a Body Press just in the off chance they miss, which they obviously won't. Obviously, they won't miss a Thunderbolt right now. There's the Tera Blast. We're not going to live that, unfortunately. No way, Jose. As Corviknight gets frozen to smithereens. Down it goes. Obviously, if I'd have roosted, I would have lived the Tera Blast, but they would have just gone for a Thunderbolt if that was the case. Because Thunderbolt still takes out Toxtricity, as that's what we're going to have to go into and let go down to the hazard. So that was a pretty fun game. It came right down to the wire in the end, which is great. Sandy Shocks came through for my opponent, and unfortunately, we weren't able to catch the W this time, but we will do the next time. So anyway, thank you for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, of course, leave a like, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. And with that being said, I'll see you all in a bit.